Hi fantasy managers and welcome to FPL Team Talk. Welcome to the last team selection video for Game Week 38. No more game weeks after this. I'm going to go through my team selection, my first 11, who I'm benching, go through captaincy options and have a look at some of those differentials I might be taking a punt for to boost my rank, or you may need them for your mini league, whatever it is you're trying to do before the end of the season. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, please give a like, don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, let's get into it. Before we get into Game Week 38, then let's have a quick review of how I got into Game Week 37. And all in all, it felt like a really good week. There's lots of positive. I mean, Gvardiol and Haaland were my two captains coming in. I had 2 free transfers. That put my playing team up to 11 double game weeks, which was great. They came in, Porro and Højlund came out. I actually ended up with 24 more points because of that, because of Gvardiol's 2 goals. I could not have predicted it would go as well as that. I also think if I hadn't brought Haaland in, not that that was ever the plan not to, I probably would have gone for Son as captain. That would have been a huge turning point for me. Haaland ended up on 30 points for that double in the game against Spurs. Gvardiol was brilliant, 2 clean sheets, as did Walker. Palmer doing what he does, and then Fernandes coming on, chipping in with the assist, which I would absolutely thrilled to take, because it meant Saka, who had come into side, goes out. Isak, bit disappointing, but hey ho, can't have everyone return. And Petrovic conceding that late goal was disappointing as well against Brighton, and Son didn't do a lot, but again, difficult second fixture. So all in all, even though I got 118 points, it still meant a red arrow, which was disappointing. I went down by 13k, so I'm down to 67k. Which I'm still happy with. I still think that's a really good rank. Talk about 0.5% in the whole world, so that's decent. But when you were 35k a few weeks ago, three or 4 weeks ago, and even as high as 19k within the game week, I don't know, it feels like I've gone backwards a little bit. But I'm in no desperate hurry to kind of do anything knee-jerk and throw away my existing rank. I think if you offer me 50k, I'd absolutely snap your hand off. But even if it was to stay at 67, I think that's a decent return for an FPL season. I still think that's decent. So looking forward then to my signing Game Week 38, and it's set up really well. Remember, I wildcarded in Game Week 35, so it should be set up well, and it remains so as well. I don't really have any particular injury worries. Rotation-wise, who knows what's going to happen, but I do have 3 Man City players, Haaland, Gvardiol and Walker. I expect all 3 of those to play, and the same with White, Gabriel and Saka, so that's pretty much settled. I don't think I see any reason why Petrovic would come out. Palmer continued playing, and Jackson, but you just don't know. Last game of the season, there could be some strange selections made. But the side as it is, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, I'm ending up benching the likes of Isak and Fernandes, which I'm not sure I'm entirely happy with. But I think out of the side, yeah, I think I'd rather go Gordon then maybe Isak. I think Brighton at home to Man U is a difficult game for Fernandes, but he is on pen, so possibly he comes in for that. But it's very difficult. Well, I've got 1 transfer, not much money in the bank to use, but I have got options. But it would all evolve around the one player that would come out of that side. I think Jackson's done brilliantly, and that's a good fixture at home to Bournemouth, so I don't want him to come out. Son away at Sheffield United is not coming out the side, and Palmer's just too good to come out. The back 4 look really good, and I don't want to move those. I think there's clean sheets for all 4 of those, so they're not coming out. So that just leaves really Gordon, and at a push, possibly Jackson. Gordon could easily come out for it. I think Gordon, Jackson, Isak and Fernandes, any 2 of those 4 could play. And then I'm looking at, the only one I'm missing maybe, I think, I'm looking at is Liverpool players. They have a great fixture at home to Wolves. Yes, they have nothing to play for, but it is Klopp's last game last game at Anfield. I do expect them to score goals in a fixture that it looks pretty good on paper. Wolves not in a great place. The obvious choice out of all the Liverpool players would be Salah, and I think I would absolutely, if I had the money, go to Salah. I'm not sure I would take a hit to get to Salah, because there's no guarantees of his returning games. He is on pens, but I'm not sure I'd want to go -4. And then on top of that, is he going to outscore someone like Gordon or Isak? I'm not sure I would take that bet. But the upside is clearly quite high. The players I could go to without taking a hit, I could just go straight to Gakpo. His underlying stats look brilliant in the last 3 games. He's got 3 returns. And I think his underlying stats are pretty much around about 1 goal involvement per game, which is hitting what he's actually got. Diaz looks decent as well. Don't mind him. His online stats not quite as good as Gakpo, but he is down as a midfielder. And then Darwin, who hasn't played the last 3 games, but his online stats are great. So if I got leaks that he would start, and I'd have to trust those, he could be a real good differential. Out of all 3 of them, though, Gakpo is the least owned at about 2.5%. So he would represent the best value. I have to weigh that up with. I just don't think he doesn't finish as many games as I would like to. And his upside doesn't seem that good. He doesn't feel that exciting. The other choice I could go to, and I'm tempted to, is Brennan Johnson, 5.8. He's cheap. He's got a great fixture away at Sheffield United. The last 4 games, he has only got, I think, 2 goal involvements. But he has had Man City, Tottenham and Chelsea in those matches. And yet he's averaging pretty much a goal involved. His XGI is 1 per game, and his underlying stats across the season have been brilliant, 0.81, and there's a large amount of that is down to goal threat as well, 0.49. So I do like him, and he's a great fixture against a side that have just conceded over 100 goals. It's the worst defence in the league. I just think it looks like a great fixture, but it all comes down to, again, who do I bring out? Do I think taking out Gordon and bringing in Johnson, who's going to score more points? It doesn't matter longer term. It's a 1-week punt. Gordon away to Brentford, or Johnson away at Sheffield United. I think I'll probably take that Johnson bet. Doesn't feel like there's a lot in it, but why not? So that's the temptation I could do. I don't know. I mean, it feels like Isak could easily outscore all of them, possibly, or Fernandes could. Could Dan Burn get a clean sheet? It's possible. So it doesn't feel like a lot in it, but why not? If I think there's just a chance that Johnson's got a slightly better chance of outscoring anyone, Gordon, then I'll just go for that. And then captaincy. I think for me, I'm not concerned about many leagues. I'm just concerned about my overall rank. And I think Haaland could really hurt my overall rank if I do not captain him. So I think, playing it safe, I would go for Haaland and hope my other differentials work. Like Walker's quite a differential. So I could just go down that route. Son would be a decent return as well, because he's not done particularly well recently. If I was more concerned about my mini league and I had someone else trying to make up points for, I think Son would be my next choice. Yes, he's been frustrating lately, but I think the fixture's great. He's on pens. He's pretty much nailed to start and get 90 minutes. I really think he would be my next choice, but there wouldn't be a lot between him, then Saka, who you have to get team news on that, but I would be very surprised if he doesn't play, then Palmer, who's been really consistent lately getting returns. I think those 3 would be just behind Haaland. If I had to pick one, I think I'd have to go Son, just because he can be so explosive and he's on pens, nailed and all that good stuff that we know. So the only possible change I'd make, I think, is Gordon coming out for Johnson. But I've just got to weigh out, is Fernandes a better option anyway? But I don't know. So it's on pens. That's the only thing I don't like about Johnson. I'm taking out, I'm possibly looking at his side now, maybe Gordon comes out, and maybe I'll just play Fernandes. Simply he's on pens and he's bound to start. Man United are still scoring goals, and away at Brighton aren't keeping clean sheets. And if I bring Brennan Johnson in, I'm just taking out, I'd have to take out a penalty taker for that. Maybe I can then just swap Isak over to Jackson, though I do think Chelsea scoring a lot of goals. Jackson's more likely to get something than Isak, even without the pens. But all in all, the side looks great. That is where I'm going to have, that's where I'm going to leave it with Haaland as captain. That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below who you are captaining for Game Week 38. What differentials might you be picking on to try and boost your rank, win your mini leagues? In the meantime, that will be it. I might release one more video after the Game Week 38 deadline, just to confirm everything that's happened over the season, review it as a whole. Until then though, guys, good luck with your Game Week 38, and I shall see you on the other side.